Hi guys, Gary Box here. I want to introduce you to a new background suspension system. And system is the right word for it because there are so many possibilities and versatility for it. It's called TogDrops, T-O-G-D-R-O-P-S, TogDrops. And I want to show you a couple of things that make it really unique from every other background holder out there. So first of all, the base is a base plate. And we have several options that we can do with a base plate like this. And I want to show you in a minute exactly what all those options are. So here I've actually have auto poles, which are made by Manfrotto, and I can detail that for you more in just a moment. But what I wanted to show you, the one thing that this does better than any other backdrop system is corners. So if you're ever trying to set up a corner, like a big Santa set or something like that, and you're trying to bring two backgrounds together, it's always hard to get them all the way together and get a smooth seam down the corner. And that is what this does better than anything. And so I thought I would show you how. So right now we have a background suspended on two auto poles right here. And if we wanted to bring another background in here, that's what makes this unique. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So part of what makes this unique is this corner setup right here. And I'll show you how. So on our base background, we have little holders just like this that our bar just sits on top of. And they have bungee cords that will hold it in and keep it snug and in place so it doesn't skip out if you're shuffling around or something like that. Although so far I found that they sit in the pockets pretty good and you don't even necessarily have to use the bungee cords in all cases. But now this sticks out and this little piece right here pivots. And so here's what's unique about it. So if we take another background, and so I've added another background stand right here with a top on it. Okay, so I'm going to take my other bar and I'm going to set it in this cradle just like that. Now I've got the two pieces all the way together and they have nice little magnets here that are paired magnets. So you can actually come down and clamp these together all the way down and create a nice seam in between your two backgrounds like this. Now the cool thing is because this piece pivots, watch this, I can actually make my angle wider. So now it's opened up as a wide angle like this, or I can make it a tight and acute angle or a 45-degree angle. So this gives us a lot of versatility, but I can bump this all the way up against the other background. Now that I've moved it, I'd have to change my magnet position. So you're gonna end up without having a gap like you're gonna get when you use two traditional light stands or background stands. So this little piece right here is the one thing that makes this kind of revolutionary in my opinion. So now you can create beautiful corners in your background that are much simpler and much cleaner to do. So let's talk about the rest of the system next. So the heart of the system is your base plate. And they have several different ways of mounting this. So this is the magnetic version right here. Some people have a magnetic wall, either a solid wall of metal, or you can use strips like this these came from Lowe's right here, and create a metal background. So these are magnetic, and this can just magnetically hook, and they're pretty strong. They actually have a little lever at the bottom that you can flip to break the magnet to be able to pull it off. Otherwise, you're gonna have kind of a hard time pulling this off. They also have one that will screw directly onto the wall if you like, and that way you can mount it there. They have stand-mounted versions to be able to put on a regular light stand. So this gives you an extension out if you want it, or you can mount it just straight up against the light stand with a simple mount like this. Now what I have over here with the Manfrotto auto poles is this is a bracket to be able to attach it to the auto poles itself. Now, if you've never used auto poles, they're a great way to suspend a background. Not necessarily the ideal if you have a drop ceiling, which I actually have here, but not in my other camera room. So basically, this system has this little lever here. You can pull this down and it slides down. You can raise this up and you quite literally wedge it between the ceiling and the floor, and when you pull the lever down, it pushes up and grips it. So you can mount this between floor and ceiling almost anywhere. It's almost like one of the stripper poles, except I don't know that I would try to swing on it. So, but it mounts between floor and ceilings, and it does a great job for holding your backgrounds. So I can mount my backgrounds to auto poles. I can mount it to a magnetic wall. I can screw it to a wall or put it on top of a light stand. So a lot of different possibilities. Now, if you are using the magnetic wall, you can run these strips all the way down. And what's really cool is they're little magnets that we used on the corner a while ago can be placed on these magnetic strips to pull your background tight and get rid of wrinkles in it. So if you set up a magnetic wall, this is really gives you some pretty cool options on your background. So attach this here. These attachments on it, unscrew the little safety screw here, slide it off, and this can now slide onto a wall. So if you're doing a corner, you'd probably have two mounted onto the wall, and then the third one maybe on a movable light stand that's portable and changeable. So the system is quite modular. There's a lot of little pieces that you can put together and customize for your exact situation. Everybody's situation is different. Your ceiling height, what are your walls, what kind of ceiling. I have 3 different shooting areas, and my situation is different in all 3 of them. Right now I'm in the main camera room, which has 10.5-foot ceilings that are a drop ceiling. So the auto poles by Manfrotto aren't the ideal here, although I have used them and they do work. Upstairs, we have shorter ceilings, and then in the area we call the Bat Cave, the old grungy area, they're very tall ceilings. So you have lots of different possibilities, and that's what makes this really unique, is you can customize it for your situation. They actually have some preset kits bundled together for you, but you can easily add and subtract pieces to do your own. So you have a lot of pieces like this is a basic light stand topper right here, and there's a little slot so you can put a cradle in it, and now you can use that to hold one of your background poles. That's exactly what I'm using right here on this light stand. So you could use 2 of these and 2 light stands. Boom, you have a simple background holder right there. Here are the little hooks on the side that you can run a bungee cord over and hook it down if you're worried about it moving or coming off. Although again, I've really not had a problem with that so far. So this piece attached to a wall, we can either have it stand out like this, out away from the wall, or we could have it mount flush up against the wall by choosing different pieces. And again, this is the magnetic, and it just pops off just like that. And I should have had the safety screw on there. So I didn't, because this was just for demo, and it fell. But they're durable as well. So anyway, this is part of the system. And so I encourage you guys to check this out. If you're struggling with backgrounds, especially if you fight getting a corner, like we really do that on our Christmas set every year, trying to get that corner together and not apart and seamless has really, really been a challenge, because if you put 2 background stands together, they're going to be like this, and you're going to have that gap that you have to fill. And then whenever you try to pull it in, when you're covering that big of a gap, you're going to end up puckering really bad. So this literally allows me to butt the 2 up touching, and then I don't have nearly as much of a problem on that corner. So anyway, TogDrops is the new background system. I'll put a link below, and I want you guys to check this out. If you're struggling with backgrounds, this is a system that is just quite versatile. I'm pretty sure you can find something that's going to work for you, whether you suspend it with a magnetic wall, light stands, screw it directly to the wall, or using the Manfrotto auto poles. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, put them down below, and I'll answer anything that you guys have about this. This is new. I just started using it, and so far I love it. See ya.